Hello, everybody. Congratulations first to all of you, or to those who have managed to go through the first part of the course. I think we are halfway through after our 5 lessons so far. So if you have come so far, that is a good point, and perhaps you can go to the end and I can keep your attention focused on this one. Now, there's a small correction or completion with regard to the previous video. I walked you through the different IP rights existing in Europe, and I didn't mention copyright. Did I mention copyright? No, I did not mention copyright, though that was not okay. Copyright is for music, broadcasting, artwork, books, etc. That is an important issue, but it is a niche with regard to, I would say, the important issue of day-to-day intellectual property. Some businesses, they will only exercise on copyright, or only focus on copyright, but the majority of businesses, they will not. They will focus on those 3 elements on which this course is based, which is the designs, patents, and trademarks. So I will come back to copyright in a very specific topic, which has to do with blockchain and NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and so on. That is a different video at the end, and namely directed to the younger part of the audience with this video. So welcome again to Business and IP. Today I will walk you through a bit the administration of the intellectual property rights, and I will not go through the in Europe we have the European Union Intellectual Property Agency, etc. I will not focus on that, although I was employed there for a certain moment and I know a lot about it. I will focus on the filing process. I think this is what you are most interested in, living in foreign countries, non-European countries, and having to deal either with small businesses with regard to the intellectual property business, so to say, or if you are small businesses, you want to protect your intellectual property, your assets. I think your assets is not, you don't want to protect your intellectual property, no, you want to protect your assets with intellectual property. This is the right way to put it. Now, let's start with trademarks. As you have heard from previous videos of mine, trademarks are around since human business is around, so more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years in some cases. So it is the most important one, and every business needs a trademark, a business identifier, so that the consumers can refer to it, even if it is with invention business. They need also patents, yes, but the trademark, so Apple is a trademark, although it is a technology company with a lot of patents, but it is still being recalled due to its brand, which is Apple. Okay, you are from, I don't know, whatever countries, non-European country, from Moldavia perhaps, or from Azerbaijan, or from Liberia. Well, the first thing is to have a trademark. If you have a trademark in your country, so that is already a good thing. Admitting we have a trademark in Liberia. Now, from that onwards, you have 3 choices. 3 choices. The more choices, the worse, I know. I know my wife, if she comes into a shop with 3 choices, though it's good, but if there are 200 choices, it will take an hour. There's a good chance it will take more than an hour probably in order to get through. So you have only 3 choices, which is still okay. One is the most obvious one. You are interested in Europe, in 3 countries. You will go to these 3 countries and file also an application in order to be protected for your goods or services in these countries. Well, you can do this. You need for each country a agent probably in order to do this. You may possibly also do this on your own through internet. The European national offices have been upgraded in that sense. So you don't need necessarily an agent. You need to pay still, but you can do this by, 15 minutes on your own. If you are a lawyer, you should do this on your own. If you are a small business owner, you can do this in your own if you have the spare time to do this. Once you have done it with one filing, I think it's very easy to do it with a second or a third. So it is just to put yourself in that shoe and do it. Any case, the tendency is to make it as simple as possible for all the business owner to make their filing, in order not to, it is about to make the cost easier, the cost bearing easier for businesses in order to protect their business. So it should not be a big cost factor. If you have the more agents you have involved in order to get to this, the more difficult it will be in order to do so, because the cost factor is too high. And this is especially true for small and medium-sized businesses. Now that is the first one, the first option. The second option would be Madrid Protocol. Whether you have heard it or not, as a law student might have heard it, as a business owner you might not have heard it. So it is about WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, which is a sub-organization of the United Nations, and it is in Geneva. So one office, that's what you need to know. One office, and you have the possible coverage of 124 countries around the world, but you can choose the ones you're interested in. So you don't need to put the 124 at the same time, so you can choose 1, 2, 3, whatever number it suits you and what is in agreement with your business strategy. Now this has some advantages and disadvantages. Well, and a condition. The condition is already fulfilled. As you told me, you had already a home filing, so to say, in Liberia or in Abidjan or in Togo, I don't know. You have a home filing. So that is a precondition. If you don't have a home filing, then you cannot have the Madrid Protocol in your favor. So one of the conditions is you need a home filing. The second, naturally, is that your country is part of the Madrid Protocol. Now, if you have 124 countries, there's a good chance that it is the case. If not, forget about it for the moment. Or you may file a home filing in a country which is part of the Madrid Protocol. So you are in again. Now, the advantage is you have one office to deal with, and everything goes through this offices, and this office talks to all the other offices you have designated beforehand. So simplicity, one language, for example, one office to deal with, and you can choose the countries you want to be protected. The other is it is cost saving. Naturally, if you want to go to each country, each agent, etc., and well, it is very difficult, burdensome. And the third would be the scope, the 124 countries. Now, disadvantages exist as well, as the conditions I laid out before. but you have a communication issue probably, because sometimes the deadlines are very tight, as they have always to communicate, the national offices, you have always to communicate through WIPO, so the deadlines are being taken and it might be sometimes very tight. There is another issue which has to do with the home filing. The other the designated registrations you want to have through this international registration depends on your home filing. So if your home filing is being cancelled, then you might have a difficulty with regard to all the remainder of the designated countries. And a third is a problem, probably a disadvantage, I would say. You have to deal with objections with regard to country by country. So the advantage of the simplicity might go away if you have a lot of objections with regard to certain countries. Then you need to appoint an agent, and again the cost factor might go into. Now, all of this, or the major part, the country by country wise, may disappear or may not appear if you do your homework before to look for trademarks which are not being used by others and have little chance to be opposed by others. I know it's very difficult in 124 countries. You know, there are different languages and you don't know the languages, and well, it is a difficult issue, but you can diminish very much the problems with regard to the oppositions, potential oppositions, when you do your diligent research. And again, the research tools are there. I will make probably a proper video on these research tools, because it gives you the possibility to do you, the businessman, the possibility to check out what the competition is doing and if what you intend to do is good. Now, time flies. Let's go to that was trademark. So trademark, you have the EU IPO as well. EU IPO is a possibility, is a mixed between the both, the national choice and the international registration. EU IPO, if you want in Europe only, you can go only to EU IPO. You have the simplicity, the cost advantages, etc. You don't need a home filing for that. You can do it directly. If you want more than Europe, so the international registration, where you can designate the European Union as well, that would be also a possibility. Then you would not deal with any country of the European Union, so the 26 member states. No, you would not deal with them nationwide. You would deal with them only with regard to EU IPO, and then you have a title for the whole European Union. For patents, that is more or less the same. We don't have a corresponding organization for unitary patent yet. I told you so. That will be coming in the future, but the EPO, which through the WIPO you can also designate, will give you also the possibility to make more choices. But more or less it is the same way: national, international, and you have the EPO. For the designs, same thing as for trademarks. I think there's Madrid Protocol, Hague Agreement, but the rest would be more or less the same. So that's it. I think I have gone through what I wanted to tell you. It is, let me wrap it up. We will make a proper video on considerations and so, but this is not the important thing. And the important thing at this moment, you want to have a choice. If you have one country, go to that country. If you have many countries, then things will be different. Thank you very much for tuning in. The next video will be about strategic considerations. Thank you.